What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Life in Limbo. It's your host, your boy Amos. Um, welcome back. This is actually gonna be I said actually like twice. Right? So this is why we have editing. But anyhow, so this is this is actually gonna be a good video, very informative video, because this is some stuff I wish that I knew before I actually, came here. I wish I could have found this information, but it is what it is. So I got some info that I wanted to share with the African diaspora, especially those that I know personally that live within the United States. So, first thing first, let's get into it. All right. So we all know we need visas to travel. No, visa is not a credit card. Don't be surprised. Too many people don't know about visas, know the process of visas. I really didn't understand the process of getting. I didn't really understand the whole visa thing until I had to travel here, because a lot of countries that I did travel before did not require me to apply for a visa before getting there. So if you do not know that if you're traveling to the continent of Africa, many countries require you to get a visa before you actually get in the country. You actually have to do the visa and go through the visa process in your home country before you can travel to certain countries. Not all, but I think like most, a lot of the countries in Africa requires you to get a visa prior before coming. Then you have some countries in Africa that you can actually, if you have to look this up, because some countries, if you have like a U.S. passport, you actually can get a visa on arrival. So you can actually just fly straight into that country, and at the immigration, they'll just boom, stamp you in, give you your visa, whether it's 60 days, 90 days, and you can tour that country. So you can just fly like right in, like you're flying to any other country. Any other state, or you guys know what I mean. You get the drift. So you could just fly right in. So so you got to do your research on certain countries that don't require a visa before you arrive. Certain countries that do. Now, if you end up flying into a country and they require you to have a visa before you get there, you're not even supposed to be on a plane, but what's going to end up happening is you'll end up being deported out of that country. So it's very important, the countries that you are looking to get to, understanding their visa processes and what they are looking for. When it came to South Africa, and I think Namibia, Botswana, those are the ones I know off the top of my head. But these countries do not require, if you have a U.S. passport, they do not require you to do a visitor's or tourism visa home. You can just fly right in, come right in, they'll stamp you in, and boom, you got your visa right there, and then you can go on tour. So when it came to South Africa, it's the same thing. So South Africa, I think I repeated myself. Oh my gosh. So South Africa, same thing, fly right in, U.S. passport. If you have a U.S. passport, remember, it depends on your country and your country's passport and the relationship with your country and that African country, the relationship with the country, all depends with the relationship your country has with the country you're traveling to, depending on if you can get a visa on arrival or not. So you have to do your research, all right? So when it comes to South Africa, yeah, you can get a visa, fly in, come and do a 90 days. And after your 90 days are up, you have to leave the country. And that's with any country that you travel to in the world. After your time is up, you have to leave the country. If you do not leave the country when your time is up, you will be called you'll be labeled what is called an undesirable person. So somebody who's undesirable, somebody who's not really following the rules, like you're not really, you kind of seem suspect or suspicious, and that will actually get you banned from the country for 4 to 5 years, even longer. So you don't want to get banned from a country that you may actually love, or want to come visit again. So you want to make sure that you abide by the rule. However, when it comes to South Africa, you can get something called an extension. Like you can stay up to 6 months. So after your 90 days is up, you can get another 90 days. Now there is a process to this, and it's called a visa extension, and you have to actually apply for your extension before your 90 days is up to give you another 90 days. Oh yeah, and it costs some moolah. Like it ain't cheap. Like it ain't free. And yeah, so you just, if you want to stay, you can stay. However, after your 90 days is up, you can actually you can fly to another country and then come back in, and you'll get another 90 days. But it can't be a country that's landlocked with Africa. So if you try to fly to Zimbabwe and chill out there for like a week or whatever, or tour out there for like whatever, a month, 2 months, and then you fly back to South Africa, they may not give you 90 days. They may only give you 30 days. I don't know, they may give you 10 days. But because there's a lot of, put two and two together, what's understood don't need to be said. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys some information that I wish I knew that can potentially save you thousands and thousands of dollars. All right, so I know a lot of people in the diaspora, especially home in America, they will actually want to move back to the continent. And sometimes we don't know what it takes, or we don't know how to immigrate into other countries, because we're supposedly in the land of milk and honey already, right? We're supposedly in the promised land, United States of America. So we don't know too many people that actually just, get up in our, that we know in our neighborhoods that just get up and just want to leave. Like they just want to bounce. Like, y'all, I'm out of here. Like, so we don't know too many people that actually leave the country. So we don't truly understand and grasp the process of immigration and immigrating into a different country. So one of the mistakes that I wish I would have knew, because it would have saved me some time and some money, and other people I have met out here made the same mistakes, is just selling everything that you have and just coming into the continent. This is a mistake, and this mistake could potentially cost you thousands and thousands of dollars, and I'm gonna tell you why you don't wanna do that. Okay, reason number one, you don't wanna do that, and it's probably the only reason that you need to know. Like I said, I wish I knew this reason, and now you're going to know, all right? So you don't make the same mistake. When it comes to touring and getting a tourism visa, remember what I told you. You can just come right in. You can come right in and get like a tourism visa. However, when it comes to transitioning and you need something called a long-term visa, like you need like a 3-year visa, you need a 5-year visa, you need a 10-year visa, you need a long-term visa. So because you need the long-term visa so you can get to the next step, which is residency, permanent residency. And then of course you have something else called temporary residency. So, but you need a long-term visa before you can get to that next step, to that next level. And the thing is, you need to apply for your long-term visa in your home country. You cannot apply for a long-term visa in the country that you're trying to immigrate to. And the reason why, to me, I don't really get it, but I guess I do, is because when you're applying for a long-term visa in your country, you have to go through the FBI. You have to get fingerprints, you have to get pictures and all this stuff, and they're not going to do it in the country that you're trying to get to. So you have to do it in your home country. I'm gonna repeat it again. Do not sell everything and just come into the country, because you will run into that roadblock when you start looking for visas. You'll realize, oh snap, I gotta go back home to my home country, spend money on tickets, hotels, Airbnbs, or whatever, and then wait till I get an approval. Do not do this. It can potentially save you thousands. I know people who did not know, and it cost them some money, you know what I mean? And you want to save as much money in these times as much as possible. And you know, somebody actually sat me down and told me how a whole story of a family of 7 that actually had to leave South Africa and basically go back to the States. Like, this family actually sold everything they had, and the stuff that they were wanting to take, they actually got it shipped, and then they just came, and you know, they was staying in Airbnbs and hotels, and they found all of this out, and they realized, oh my gosh, like, we could probably make a big mistake, you know. So I don't ever want to hear any, you know, I don't want to see us go through that, and I don't want to hear about that, because a lot of people is just telling us, yeah, just come, just move. But what they not telling you is that there is a process, and it's not easy, especially for South Africa. And I'm gonna tell you why it's not easy for here, because they're not trying to make it easy for us. And the reason being is South Africa is one of the most, if not the most developed country on the continent, the richest, you know, country in the continent as far as how much millionaires is here, how much business is here. There's a lot of big business booming in South Africa. This is where the people, you know, come to make money. So when people on the continent, you know, the people that live in the Zimbabwe's, the people that live in the Congos, the people that live in, you know, the Kenyas, the people that live in Zambia, in different, you know, parts of the continent, people try to get to the UK, or they try to get to the US. Either I'm gonna get to Europe or I'm gonna get to US. But once I can't get to Europe or the US, the next best bet for me is South Africa. So there's been an influx, there's always an influx of people trying to immigrate into South Africa, because that is the, you know, the best thing, one of the best options on the continent as far as business wise. People know they can come here and make money and then go back home and make a living. So because of that, because of the influx of a lot of people coming in, they don't make it easy to get into South Africa. So you definitely don't want to just drop everything, sell everything, and just show up. Like I told you, that family came here, they sold everything they had, and they came here and they had to leave. And I don't want to see us go through this, because like, I wouldn't want to go through it. And I know we don't, you know, we're not rich. You know, even if that family would have sold their home and came with $100,000, that $100,000 could have easily shrunk to about $30,000. I mean, you're talking about getting passports, getting plane tickets, shipping stuff alone. Like, I actually got quotes, you know, and I decided not to ship, because when I got the quotes to ship stuff here, I'm like, hold up, $10,000 US to ship my stuff from over there to here. And I don't think you guys know how much $10,000 is in South African money. So so it costs 177,000 rands. That was the quote to ship furniture from the US to South Africa. Now, mind you, that was $10,000. Now, $15,000, you're looking at almost, or probably 200,000 rands just for shipping alone. So, you know, 15 to 20K on shipping, $10,000 on tickets, another, you know, 5-6 grand on Airbnbs, you know, spending money on food, spending money on leisure and all that stuff. And yeah, did I mention that tickets can get very, very pricey? yes, if you're spending tickets for a family of 7, I mean, you easily spending about 7, 8 grand and up to $10,000 easily. So just by them just coming here, even if they had $100,000, just by them coming here, they probably would have just came, it probably would have cost them to transition maybe 15 to 20K just to transition. And then to get an Airbnb, to get around, to get food, to go sightseeing. I'm pretty sure they had fun. I'm pretty sure they went to, the casinos. I'm pretty sure they went to the malls. I'm pretty sure they bought some stuff. In the 3 months that they were here, they were spending money and then figuring out, oh man, we actually gotta fly back to the States. So that's another $10,000. Go get hotels. I mean, that's another about what? 6 grand for the 3 months that you gotta wait. And it's not even guaranteed that everybody's gonna get a visa. And it's not guaranteed that you might get the visa that you like. So I can understand why they probably had to move back to the States. And like I said, I don't want to see people go through this, so that's why I had to make this video. Long story short, all I'm telling people is that if you're gonna try to get a long-term visa, you have to do it in your home country. You cannot get a long-term visa in any country in Africa. And if you do that, and if you try to do that, what you're gonna find out is you're gonna have to fly back. You're gonna have to get a hotel, rent an Airbnb, spend more money, wait for your approval, and you don't know when that approval could come, 3 months, 6 months. So, I mean, this can save you, and it has saved people thousands of dollars just knowing this. I know a lady right now who had to go back, and apply for the visa the right way, and it cost her some money. And then on top of that, she didn't even get the approval, so there's a possibility she has to go back again and restart the process again. So like I said, they don't make it easy, and it can be expensive and pricey. And this is the reason why this type of information will save you thousands, because a lot of people's not really talking about it. They're just saying, come to the continent, come to the continent. But before you come to a country on the continent, make sure you're doing your due diligence and doing your homework and figuring out what's what before you end up in a hole in the back in the United States of America. All right, so thank you for tuning in.